My name is Rebekah Kochan. This is my husband, Dante.
Hi.
This is called The Joys of Alzheimer's. We own a business in Los Angeles, and we take care of my dad who has Alzheimer's.
We do, yep.
We call it The Joys of Alzheimer's because obviously Alzheimer's is an effing nightmare, but we're trying to find some joy in it, right? And also, we're not even at the hard stage yet. My dad is in the early middle stages. I know that it's going to get much harder.
I went through this with my grandmother for about 10 years, and now I'm here with her dad, and her dad was getting progressively worse until he moved in with us, and now he's getting progressively better.
Well, no, he's not getting
Yes,
better.
he is. In
He's
a lot of
improved
ways.
slightly, though, since he's moved in with us.
No, in a lot of ways, he's a different man. He had given up. First of all, he gave up.
We were doing long distance caregiving for 5 years. He was in
he had caregivers there.
Right, but I mean, we were taking care of things while he was in Vegas, and then it got to the point where he couldn't live alone anymore. And I do feel like since he's been here for the past 5 months, that he's doing a lot better, that he's a lot more with it than he was when he was living
I think
on
his
own.
brain has gotten better, even if it was
Well,
because he got mushy from not talking to someone, maybe.
Right. Well, he's going to a senior center now 5 days a week. Again, we'll have him do interviews with us so you can see what we're talking about, because I also think it's important to talk to people that have Alzheimer's that are also going through this disease. And really, just to reiterate, the whole reason why we wanted to do this is just to let everyone out there know that there's other people going through this nightmare with them, and they're not alone, and there you go.
Right, you're not the only one thinking of ways to kill your loved one. And I know you're not being serious, but you do think about it. Even if it's just, I'm going to murder you.
Right.
We all think that because it gets tough sometimes, and we lose patience, but we all have to breathe and remember it's not the person, it's the disease.
Which is so hard. So effing hard. Don't get me wrong. And he is a lot more patient than I am. I think just in general, he's a more patient human. And also it's my father, so I feel like it's hard for me to have any separation, right? Don't you think it's harder in a way when it's your own parent?
And let's start with, he wasn't an easy man before he got the disease.
Right, he's an old school guy from the Bronx, you know what I mean?
There you go.
He is
That's the one.
Very opinionated.
Very Bronxy.
He's very Bronxy. I don't know if you've how much experience our viewers have with people from the Bronx, but they're intense. My dad is like Larry David and Cardi B.
Yes.
Rolled into one.
With white hair.
Human. Right, exactly. So is he more honest in certain ways? You bet.
You bet.
You bet he is. Sorry about the sound. We're outside and it's Los Angeles. But it is very nice out though. So, and I'm very lucky that I have my husband who is a lifesaver. I don't know how people are doing this alone without
I'm sorry
help.
if you're doing this alone. I'm sorry if you are. And if you're doing it with someone and you still feel like you're alone, I'm sorry for you too. Because that means that person, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm
on these, I'm sure lots of us are on these Alzheimer's Facebook caregiver groups, and there's several amazing Instagram accounts that I follow, but people feel really alone, and most people's families are useless. I mean, I'm lucky. I have my brother who lives here. He's very helpful, and he wants to help as much as possible. He lives like 10 minutes from here. And my parents are divorced, and my mom is very, very supportive. Like, she's coming tomorrow to visit us.
When he lived in Vegas, her mom, who is married to her stepdad, would come over and feed Mel every day.
That's how cool
we would obviously give her money to buy the food, but she would come and do it every day. What a good woman.
Right. Like,
Thank God, but not everyone has that.
Right. I am very, very lucky. And this being said, too, I suffer from, OCD, bipolar, all sorts of stuff. It's not just like, I'm like, oh, this is so easy because I have a great support system. Like,
and
already,
we own a business.
And we own a business on top of all this. So
we have employees. I manage actors and celebrities. It takes up about 16 hours of my day, you guys. I'm not kidding. And we stay at home. We have a home office. We're actually at our office right now. We're in our yard because we knew this day was coming. Plus we had chosen to start working out of our house instead of an office. It's just the wave of the future,
Right.
but thank God.
Right, because we couldn't,
Can you imagine if we had to go to a day job and put your dad somewhere
Well,
in
and
daycare?
it's not even an option financially for us to do that. As it is, it's not an option for most people in America to be able to put their loved one. Not that I want to. I'm glad that my dad is still great, and I'm glad that we're here and I'm able to take care of him in our home for now. But I know how this disease progresses, and I don't know what the future is going to look like. It really is.
And just so you know, even though we say we own an entertainment company and I have lots of big stars and all this, it doesn't mean we're rich. We also, have health insurance like everyone else, and we are, we started a company. It's our company, and we put all of our money into it. And my parents just died of cancer, and we took care of them as they died. And it's like, that all had to be paid by someone, and it was us, and we're still paying it off, and we will. And so if you're saying, well, they don't understand because they're in Los Angeles, well, guess what? We're all in the same boat. It doesn't matter if you're poor, if you're rich, or whatever.
Well,
maybe if you're rich.
True. If you're rich, you can afford a lot of help.
A caretaker.
Yeah.
Right. If you're rich, then you have a nurse around the clock.
And like
or
quality
whatever.
daycare for your loved one and stuff like that. No, if you're rich, your life you can pay for a lot of help. And again, I'm grateful, first of all, every day that it's not at that point yet where he's not like going to the bathroom all over himself all the time and things like that, which I know that's what the future is going to be, but we're not there yet. So
I don't know what stage you're in, but my grandmother went through all of the stages until death, and the worst stage for me was watching her eat herself. And when I say eat herself, I mean physically eat herself. The nurse for my grandmother would wake up in the morning. She lived with her, I would check on her. She'd set an alarm for every couple hours. And she would say she almost bit her finger off last night. Or, and I'd go there and my grandmother's whole finger had almost been eaten off.
Right. And we hear stories like that. I mean, we all see those stories on Facebook.
By the way, if
It's a
someone
nightmare.
gets to that point, they should be just put in hospice, I think, on no food. I wouldn't want to live like that.
Why
are you keeping me around if I'm laying in a bed eating myself?
Well, that's a whole conversation. The whole
And
right to die.
But that is
thing
the minute my mom did put her in a hospice and let her die. Really, they took away her food, and within about 3 days, my grandmother was gone.
This was also, what year was this?
It was through the 90s. I think she died in about 99, maybe.
Okay. And things are, there's more information out there, and there's some slightly better medications and things. Things have come a little bit further since then.
And we know a little bit about it because he was a part of a big study recently in Las Vegas, which was like one of the big studies on Alzheimer's in America.
He was in a study where he was taking this drug. Well, we're not sure because, it's like a double-blind study. He may or may not have been getting this drug. But
half of them got a placebo, the other half got the drug.
Right. But this drug was supposed to be killing or eating away at the amyloid protein that causes the
plaque
Alzheimer's.
On your brain.
But sadly, they shut the study down because I guess the FDA realized that it wasn't doing as much as they were hoping it was going to do. So they shut the study down. And of course, I was devastated, and I cried because in my mind I was like, this is going to be the thing that's going to save my dad. I'd had all this hope, which I think anyone that's ever gone through any of these studies has like this hope inside of them that this is going to.
I didn't know about that.
That I cried and I cried?
I knew you cried, but I didn't know you had all your hopes and dreams set that this would cure him.
Well, sure, of course I did. Of course I did. Which was stupid, which was silly and childish of me to do that. But that's okay. But he's doing great, really. And there's this amazing center that he goes to, the LGBT center down the street, which luckily they don't discriminate.
Right. He's not LGBTQ anything. He isn't. He's just a senior, and they don't discriminate. Anyone who needs lunch or want to go to a class that's over 50 in Los Angeles can come there. They prefer, you need help, and most of these people that are there do. They really need it.
So it's an incredible facility. I also realized in Los Angeles, there's a lot more resources. Like, I know there's people living in rural areas going through this that don't have any resources like this.
When you talk to us and watch our videos and send us questions and things like that, we will tell you the information that we're getting.
Any information we have, yes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can get information off of the internet and you can read as many books, but we go to classes. Like we took some great
the Alzheimer's
caregiver.
Association did a free Alzheimer's Association Los Angeles did a free caregiver training that was like 8 weeks.
It was great.
You got it. I think
you go
anyone
once a week
can order this manual online from the Alzheimer's
for free.
Association. I think it's free. I don't know.
They want a donation, but you can get it for free, I'm sure.
But it's called The Savvy Caregiver, this booklet. It's a great read, you guys. I'm kidding, it's not. But I mean, it's very informative. Yeah. So we're going to try to share our experience. We're going to have my dad, come and talk as well about his experience because he's still at a point where he knows he has Alzheimer's. He talks about it.
Right. Someone today at his senior center questioned him about it, and she went, "Wait, you have Alzheimer's?"
Right. He's very open about talking about it.
We're talking. He's at about year 10.
No. He's like year 5. He was diagnosed like 5 years ago.
Wow.
But he's doing amazing for someone
that was
like
diagnosed
10 years. Underwater.
Help us. So I also wanted to throw this out because it's one thing people who aren't caregivers don't think about, and maybe someone who is a caregiver, you can tell people to watch this video and maybe they'll start getting a better idea of what you're going through.
Hopefully. I know this is the first video, or
all of our videos that'll come up each day or each week or whatever we do. But what I was going to say is today I woke up and I realized after I had made him breakfast and gone to the restroom and started working on my phone and checked on him again and did this and did that, I went, oh my God, I'm in Groundhog's Day. Every day of my life is the same. I get up, I cook him breakfast, I make sure he showers, then I shower, then I make sure, that he's getting ready to go to the center, and then we drive him to the center, and then she has to go in with him to make sure he signs up for this class and that class, and that he's registered for lunch. And then we come home, and we have an hour to ourselves to do whatever we need to do.
Work,
right. And then within that hour, 10 minutes before, thank God he's only a 5-minute drive away, we go, one of us has to go get him. We come back, we go back to work, we make him dinner, we go to the store. You know what I mean? It's the same thing every day, and there's no let up to it.
Right. And
we know it's only getting worse.
Sure. It's not going to get better, that's for sure.
Right. It's not like something that's curable. So we're there with you, and if you are not a caregiver and someone told you to watch this to show you what they are going through, I hope that you get a good sense of what these people are going through. I mean, when we took this class, it was so sad to meet some of these people in different stages of their life with their loved one. One guy, his loved one had it pretty serious, but they both loved still going out to the gay clubs and out to restaurants and stuff together, right? Mm-hmm. And then this other lady, her husband turned very mean and hard to deal with.
Which happens all the time. That happens. People get angry later in the disease.
Right. And I think because he was probably already a very needy man before the disease, he's now so needy that she's a hot mess, this poor lady, right?
Everyone's a hot mess going through this. If you're going through this, you are a hot effing mess.
Well,
really.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel horrible for her. She's a young lady, which means that he's a young man, probably.
Right. My dad is 76. He'll be 77 in July. So he's not a young man. That doesn't mean it's not horrific, but I know that people get diagnosed in their 40s and their 50s, that's horrifically young. So yeah, I hope we haven't spat too much information
We'll be back. Watch more episodes. I hope it helps. Send us comments. We'll make it all below. You'll see.
We're working on it.
We're working. This is episode 1, you guys. My name again is Dante. This is my beautiful wife, Rebekah Kochan. And we look forward to speaking with you more about all of this.
Bye.
Bye.